continuing with nature of roots. So this is like a question that's on another standard. So you have to be careful, but then the principles remain the same. So the question says, show that the roots of the equation given by this are real, rational, and unequal if m is not equal to 0. So for roots to be real, delta must be greater than or equal to 0. For them to be rational, um, delta must be a perfect square, and unequal, meaning for unequal, delta must not be equal to 0. So let's do our question. But then we see that we have, like, we want b squared. What's b? B is the coefficient of what? Of x. We have the coefficient of x, but then a is the coefficient of x squared. Do we have x squared here? No, we don't have x squared. So since we don't have x squared, we can't continue. Therefore, we have to make sure that we find our x squared. How can we find our x squared? By multiplying the brackets out. So let's do that. I have 6. I have x times 6x, which gives me 6x squared. 6x squared. Then I have x times 7m. I get negative 7mx. Then this is on the right hand side. So if I transpose it, I'll get negative 5m squared. All of them equal to 0 because this is an equation. So now we have our equation in its standard form, because now we have the coefficient of x squared, which is 6, and also the coefficient of x, which is 7m, and also our number. C is just a number. It can have like a, a constant, not a constant, a variable like m here. M squared is just a number, but it's unknown, so we call it maybe an unknown variable. But then it represents a number according to mathematics. So this is a number. 5m squared is our C. 5m squared is our C. So let's solve and use our b squared minus 4ac. Our b squared is 7m, close bracket. Then we square it 7m, close bracket, minus 4. Then our a, the coefficient of x, is 6. Then we have c. Our c is 5m squared. 5m squared. This is our delta. Then we continue. So 7m squared gives us 49m squared. 49m squared. Then minus 6 times 4 is 20. I think it's 24. 24. 24. Then multiplied by 5m squared. 5m squared. Or I can just do it once. I'll just say, sorry, I forgot to put the sign of c here. So c is negative 5m squared. Sorry, I forgot to put the sign. So I'll just say 4 times negative 4 times 6 times negative 5 is equal to positive 120, then m squared. Then m squared. So this is the another step. So let me decrease the font, but then I just go. So let's leave it. Let's continue. So I have 49m squared plus 120m squared. These are like terms, so you can just add. You get 169m squared as our final answer. So you can't go further. This is our final answer, 169m squared. I told you that m squared just a number, but then it's unknown, but then it represents a number. So this is our final answer. So let's check if our roots are real. But this one we have to be very careful, since we know that any number squared, like m squared, any number squared will be always greater than 0, will be greater than or equal to 0, but they said m cannot be 0, meaning m squared is always greater than 0. So our roots are real. Our roots are real because m squared is always positive, but and we also multiply by a positive number, which is 169. So 169 times any positive number will always give us a positive number. So our delta will always be positive. So we have real roots. But then since they said m is not equal to 0, meaning this will not give us 0. Let's assume that m is maybe 3, then 3 squared is 9 times 169. It will never give us 0 because m is not equal to 0. Therefore, they are unequal because we will never get 0 from here. Then let's check for perfect square. So notice that this is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. Why do I say it's a perfect square? I say that because you see it's a square here, so even if you take the square root of that, you get like maybe square root of 169, you'll always get a whole number. Therefore, it's a perfect square. Square root of maybe 169 m squared, just to test if it's a perfect square or not, you get maybe, I think maybe 13 m. So it's a perfect square. 13m is a perfect square. So hence your roots are real, unequal, and rational. Remember, if you have a perfect square, meaning your roots are rational. Thank you.